But you did take something out of preseason week 1, and I think it is absolutely relevant. And I wanted you to just kick off the program, kick off the week with it, because it is a rule that no one asked for. I don't think any of our listeners will support it. And I'm telling you, I can already envision it costing, the Lions a game.
Not just the Lions the game, Mike, a lot of teams a game, and key games, as a matter of fact. I'm talking like playoff teams. Here's the thing. In an overreaction to last year's Super Bowl, the NFL has decided to tell every referee, we're going to emphasize the taunting penalty. We're going to make sure that if players get up and if they point or they do anything, they spike the ball, they do anything besides hand the ball back to the referee, 15-yard penalty, and if you get if you get two of these, you can be tossed out of a game. But just the fact that you can nullify a play is ridiculous. And I think it came to a head in the preseason game. And most of you probably didn't watch this, but the Colts, I think, were playing Denver. And fourth-string running back Benny LeMay, if you watch this run, this kid, now, granted, he's probably trying to fight to make the 53-man roster for the Colts.
Right. He doesn't want to be a barista.
Right. He breaks and goes through about 8 players on defense. It should have been no yards. It should have been just stopped at the line of scrimmage. He took it 15 yards, just plowing his way through. Gets up, spikes the ball. He's happy, just those out of yeah. And you're seeing him running back, and there's a flag on the field, and 15 yards. Way to go, son. Great run, but it counts for nothing. So this kid trying to make the team, thinking, I just impressed my coaching staff, now has to explain to them why he is smart enough to play in this league. And, yeah, you cost us 15 yards, and if you did this in the regular season, this would hurt us.
That's my question. Who asked for that rule? The players don't like it. Fans don't like it. Who sits there? And I'll throw the number out, 248-539-9797, because you see it in college all the time. How is it college football? 18 to 22-year-olds. The NFL's allowed to do end zone celebrations, but college football, you're not. Makes no sense. Who sits back and goes, you know what? That's the rule I've been waiting for. It's about time. And Rico's right. The smallest thing right now is getting called. And there's always an emphasis on it. I know what people are going to say. Well, it's preseason. Guys, a couple years ago, we talked about this. The emphasis on holding penalties. And the preseason was simply a preview of the regular season, where holding calls went up by 45-50%. This penalty, this isn't targeting. This isn't trying to get quarterbacks to be protected. What NFL fan says, yes, we need to get, quote, taunting celebrations out of the game? I don't think a single one of you want this rule. Yet, there it is. I just wonder why. And I wonder if anyone has a good idea why it would be called. Because a 15-yard penalty is game-altering. You mean to tell me a guy celebrating is worth altering the game? Not headhunting, okay? He's not hitting somebody in the nards. He's not going out and punching someone, stomping an eyeball. None of that. Taunting, celebrate. I'm telling you, you guys love the NFL the way we do. Be very leery of what we're watching. And I know it's only week 1 of the preseason. But if they start affecting regular season games with that stuff, my head's going to explode.
And I think you're going to see it, Mike, because I was telling David pre-show, imagine if all of a sudden there's Pittsburgh trying to make it into the playoffs.
Oh, that's funny. You mean that 6-win team?
Well, I'm just saying, Roethlisberger slings it down the field 50 yards with 3 seconds to go.
7.
Yeah, and Cody White catches it on the 1, gets up, slams the ball down, celebrates. The reason why, Cody White hasn't done this play before. This truly is his first time making that big of a play.
What you're suggesting is totally impossible because we know Cody White would have it bounce off of his face.
Okay. You know what?
My bad.
All right. I'm sorry. Brian Lewerke drops back for the Giants.
Well, we know that's impossible because he can't throw it more than 8 yards.
Well, he's your new QB now.
I don't want to talk about it. Carry on. What were you saying? I stopped listening at Cody White.
Well, Cody White picks it up because he was like, I'm worried about Juju. No, Juju's been there before. I'm talking about kind of like the running back that we saw in the Colts game. Somebody who's a rookie who catches it, and he's just genuinely excited because he's about to help his team win a key game, slams the ball down, and now instead of 1st and goal from the 3, it's now 15-yard penalty, and you're back at your own 35.
I don't know anybody in sports who wants that penalty. I don't know any fan who wants that penalty.
No, there's no fans, Mike, but this is old guy. And you know who? There happens to be probably about 30 to 32 old guys in the league. They're called owners who are probably saying, didn't like how the Super Bowl went and Antoine Winfield Jr.'s taunting penalty. That's not the game that we want.
Dude, he chucked the deuces. Like, what's the problem? He flashed the peace sign on his way to the end zone. I don't understand any of it. Why is any of it a problem? Like, it helps your brand, it helps your team, it helps the view of the game. It doesn't hurt anyone. And again, if a guy does a foul gesture, going into his pocket and grabbing his plums, well, that's a different deal. We're going to go ahead and flag you. Hey, if a guy pulls out, makes a gun gesture with his hand and points it at somebody, I might be able to, all right, we'll throw a little flag on that. Right, exactly, Roberto. But like this stuff, you want to know what we took out of the preseason? Here it is. Guys, my one rule with the preseason is simple. Just don't get hurt. Nothing else. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Look, it doesn't matter. Let you know week 1. Whether a guy looks good or bad, the preseason does not make a difference because the games don't play nearly as large of a role as the practices. And none of us get to see any of that because the only thing the media is allowed to see are calisthenics. Does this guy do a good, crunch? How about the jumping jack form? 248-539-9797. I'd love to hear from you guys on it. Because collegiately and pro, I can't believe there's nothing worse in college right now than the targeting that's not targeting. Mm-hmm. But in pro, oh, man, the NFL, these are grown-ass men. It is awfully hard to even have a 10-yard run. Didn't Edgerrin James finish his career, like the last 7 years of his career, he didn't have a 20-yard run? He's in the Hall of Fame. This is a hard game, man. This is a hard business. You make a big play, why can't you celebrate? That's what I take out of preseason.
Right. Don't set yourself back. Don't become the no fun league again. Because I like the fact that they allowed end zone celebrations. They embraced it. They said, you know what? Let's go ahead and build our brand, build our market. Let's make this more palatable for the young viewers. And I thought, okay, the NFL, this is why you're the number one sport. And now to do this, you are taking 10 steps backwards. This is not needed because no one asked for it. And it's going to hurt some team. And trust me, then it's going to be the outrage of why are they doing this? And it's subjective.
It'll happen to us. It'll happen here. It always happens to the Lions. And again, I won't be mad because anything that costs this team a game this fall that helps them lose, I'm for it because we need the highest pick possible to take Goff's replacement. But make no mistake, we're doing a show this fall. It's going to happen.
Right, it's going to happen. But what if it happens the other way and gives them a victory?
I will be furious. Furious. You can't decide games on celebrations. This is a game of speed and violence. This is not. Can you imagine deciding a game because a guy decided to do the curly shuffle? Like, what are we doing here?